Please take a moment to watch this video. Friends, have you ever been given a Doma by someone you just met? Or maybe you shared Doma to make a new friend. Sometimes people even give a packet of Doma Pani as a thank you gift, and many like to chew it after a heavy meal. But have you ever stopped to think about this habit? Doma Pani is not only about taste, it also carries stories, culture and friendship. So what exactly is Doma Pani? It is made of two things, Doma, which is the areca nut, and Pani, which is the betel leaf. People chew them together with a little bit of lime. When mixed, it creates a strong red juice. In Bhutan, chewing Doma Pani is more than just eating. It is a way to welcome people, to share and to start conversations. That is why Doma Pani has become such an important part of Bhutanese life. Let's see how Doma first came to Bhutan. A long time ago, the earliest people in this land, then called Monyol, ate raw meat, chewed bones, and even drank blood. In the 8th century, Guru Rinpoche brought a big change. He replaced those old habits with symbols, areca nut for bones, betel leaf for skin, lime for the brain, and red juice for blood. Together these became what we now call Doma. From that time on, chewing Doma slowly became part of Bhutanese daily life and tradition. Over time, people began offering Doma after meals, during rituals, and at important ceremonies. Even today, during the Zugdral Phone Chokpa, the ceremony of good wishes, Doma is given at the very beginning, before food and fruits. This is believed to be lucky and to bring prosperity. In the past, Bhutan didn't grow much areca nut, so people had to bring it in from nearby places like Assam and Bengal in India. Because it was hard to get, chewing Doma Pani was mostly for the rich and powerful. It became a luxury and a sign of respect and good luck. Important people would even give it as a special gift. The boxes used to keep Doma called chaka and trimi were often made of silver or even gold, showing how precious it was back then. Today, Doma Pani is no longer rich. It is part of daily life, at weddings, official gatherings, casual meetings, or after meals. Doma Pani is shared. This tradition helps farmers in southern Bhutan as areca nut grows well in this region, and for many of them, it's one of the main sources of income. People enjoy Doma in two forms, the fresh nut called kangcha and the seasoned nut musa, which is buried in the ground before eating. To go with the nut, Bhutanese use two types of betel leaves. The first is rata or shimpan, a smaller leaf that grows naturally in our subtropical forests. The second is pan, a larger leaf that's cultivated in parts of southern Bhutan, but is mostly brought in from India or Bangladesh. Today, Doma Pani has become very popular. In fact, the National Health Survey 2023 found that almost 60% of Bhutanese between the ages of 15 and 69 chew areca nut, a 3% rise compared to 2019. To keep up with this growing demand, Bhutan imports a large volume of Doma and betel leaves, mainly from India. There's no exact figure for Doma imports, but Bhutan Trade Statistics 2024 shows that betel leaf imports alone were worth over 205 million gultram last year. It's not that Bhutan doesn't produce enough areca nuts. The real challenge is the unorganized supply chain, lack of proper storage, and limited market planning. About 70% of Bhutan's areca nut harvest is exported raw to India, where it's used in products like color dye and pan masala. Only about 30% of the ripe nuts stay in the country for local chewing. But exporting hasn't been smooth either, because India itself has a surplus of areca nuts, making competition tougher for Bhutanese farmers. On the other hand, betel leaf farming hasn't really picked up in Bhutan. Reasons include the short production cycle, people's buying habits that favor imports, and farmers' hesitation to take the risk. Still, there are bright spots in Umling, for example. Some farmers have started turning betel leaf into a cash crop. Even though they struggle with water shortages and can't meet all the demand, they're proving that local betel leaf farming has real potential. But there's another side to Doma Pani that we should know. Scientists discovered that areca nut has a natural chemical called arecoline. So what is arecoline? It's like a tiny messenger inside the nut. When we chew Doma, arecoline is released into our body. It tells our brain to wake up and makes us feel fresh and alert, almost like drinking a strong cup of coffee. It can even help with digestion and give us more energy. That's why many people enjoy chewing it. But here's the problem. Doctors warn that too much Doma Pani can harm our health. One doctor, Dr. Amol Patel, found that chewing Doma again and again increases the risk of throat cancer. Here's why. When we chew Doma with betel leaf and lime, it produces red juice. Most people swallow that juice, but this juice carries strong chemicals that can act like bad agents. They can make some of our body's cells grow in a wrong way, too fast and out of control. Over time, that can turn into cancer in the mouth, throat, or even the stomach. So while Doma Pani can make us feel good for a short time, chewing it too often is risky for our health. Doma Pani may give us a quick boost, but chewing it too much can harm our health. That's why it's important to enjoy it with care. Our culture is precious, but so is our well-being.